things that we go through is, for example, the idea of presuppositions. What are those? They are simply beliefs and attitudes that we feel it is productive to adopt in order for us to achieve a certain milestone or certain results. And one of the favorite, in fact, it's my personal favorite, I don't know about you, is your map is not the territory. How many of you watching this, whether you are watching this on your mobile or your laptop, or while you're watching this while you're driving, wow, don't do that. How many of you who are watching this is actually using GPS, right? You switch on your Waze or Google Maps when you're driving. Remember, when you're driving and you don't know the way, or when you're commuting to work, you turn on your app, right? Whether it's Waze or Google Maps, to know the way. How many of you have experienced when you turn on the Google Map, right, or the Waze, you follow the map to the T, right? And yet you encounter a roadblock and it's not even stated in the app. Have you ever experienced that before? How does it feel? Frustrated, right? So that's the same thing that we have over here with our minds. Because just like your GPS, sometimes your GPS is not the reflection of the reality of the roads. There could be a flash flood. There could be an obstacle that is not being updated yet in the map. So the same thing goes on with our mind. Our mind is an internal map. The way our mind is being programmed, our beliefs, our conditions, our cultures, our influences, all these things form our map, and we see the world through a lens of perception. The way we perceive the world is through the lens of our conditioning and beliefs. However, have you all realized that sometimes the lens which we use to see the world might not be the reality of how the world is? Have you considered that? If not, I would like to invite you, and I would like to show you 3 reasons why how you see the world may not be how the world really is. Number 1, the first reason is humans have a tendency to generalize, meaning we tend to, for the sake of keeping it simple, right? We tend to lump together huge group of population or data into one simple category that our mind could easily remember and store. For example, there's been a lot of conversations about foreign workers, right? How often have you seen on your social media thread people talking about foreign workers are here to steal our jobs? They have no sense of hygiene. They have no civic mindedness. They are thieves. They are thugs. They are up to no good. Don't befriend them. Have you all heard about all these negative reviews on your social media? True. Where does that come from? Is it possible that every single foreign worker that you meet that are here are illegal immigrants? Is it possible that every foreign worker that you meet are here up for no good? Is it possible that every foreign worker is here to steal your jobs? Is it possible? Is it possible that every foreign worker has no sense of hygiene? Are they all criminals? Is that possible? Now here's the thing. Many of these beliefs are simply generalized belief that has no basis in facts, there's no basis in statistics. Yet many of us do so. So there could be a chance one day when you meet Jean, when you meet Ah Chong, or when you meet Abdul, and then you say, oh, foreign worker equals to criminal, foreign workers equals to steal our jobs, foreign workers equals to illegal, up to no good, no sense of cleanliness. Can you see how dangerous this is? That's the reason why we have racism. That's the reason why we have sexism and so many of the other isms. Is because our tendency to lump together people, and I'm only starting to talk about people. There are so many things that we generalize, and what is generalized is highly likely not to be true. Because human nature And the human profiling is not something that you can easily put into one or two boxes. It's complex. Many issues are complex, but our human mind can only process the simple. So this is number one. Number two, humans have a tendency to distort their experiences. I'll give you an example. Let's say both Jim and Sarah is in the same party, right? They both are invited, they are both there. Yet at the end of the day, when I ask Jim, how is the party? Jim says, whoa, the DJ is great, I love it, the vibe is good, everyone is so friendly. That's what Jim said. And then I go to Sarah. Sarah, how's the party? And Sarah says, whoa, the DJ sucks, the music is bad, people are all looking at their phones, they are not talking to people. Wow. Have you ever encountered this same situation? How is it possible that two persons that are at the same party at the same time yet has two different experiences? This is what I meant by distortion. Many of the times, our memory, our experiences are simply distorted. Perhaps Jim knew a lot of friends over there. They're instantly able to connect to people. He don't feel alone. He doesn't feel left out. Perhaps Jim knows the DJ. And it's just a domino effect, right? And Jim, for the whole night, perhaps he met a girl that he likes and things like that. So for the whole night, it feels great for Jim. Don't you think so? But how about Sarah? Perhaps Sarah cat passed away in the morning. Perhaps Sarah doesn't really know anyone except the host in the party. And the host is so busy that he ignored her. Perhaps Sarah is not that good in social skills. And all this domino effect affected and distorted her experiences. You know what? Perhaps Sarah is an introvert. She doesn't even like to socialize. And based on her characteristics and based on how we view the world, we tend to have different experiences. It's distorted. I'll give you another example. If you have realized this, I really wonder if you have realized this, right? Have you had friends that always says the economy is not doing good, that the country is going to trash and things like that, right? And guess what? That friend of yours seems to continuously able to find evidence why the country is not doing good, why the economy is not doing good. Why is that so? And then you have another friend. This friend is a bit more optimist. He says that this country is great. I feel like the economy is going up, is really vibrant. We have a great culture with great people. And this friend continuously able to find evidence to justify his belief. So who is right? There are people who believe that the world is a dangerous place, that everyone that they meet is out there to get something from them. They're going to backstab them. They're going to abuse them, manipulate them. True. And there are other people that the lens, the way they see the world is that they believe that the world is a world of abundance. There are a lot of people that are really good in nature. They are out there to help them. They will always find noble people to assist them, that if they don't know something, they can always ask for help. So what happens? The person with the abundance mindset always able to spot opportunities. When he speak to people, he find opportunities. When he read the book, he find opportunities. He feel that the world is a great place. It's like a playground. How about the person who feels like the world is a dangerous place? He continuously bump into people that try to backstab her, that try to gossip her or him, continuously encounter problem with people, continuously find evidence and frustrations regarding the country, the economy, society at large. Why is that so? If this two person has roughly the same education background, roughly the same pay grade, why is it that two person have two very different experiences? It's because the way, the lens, the perception, the way we see the world is the world we are going to find. If you have a certain way of looking at the world, you won't be disappointed. You will find the world that you are looking for. Therefore, Wayne Dyer has a saying, right? If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. All right, so that's distortion. C is simply deletion. Here's a crazy one, right? There are a lot of, as you know, I've been engaged in a lot of non-profit works. And in cases where there are patients of extreme trauma, right, whether it's from an incident or accident of abuse, your mind, in order to protect you, would rather suppress the memory so that to reduce your suffering. That means sometimes such victims and patients, they simply forget details of certain incidents. And that's the reason why. And sometimes we simply didn't pay attention in the event that it happened. We didn't pay attention to certain details. Therefore, my summary is this. Whatever that you are conditioned to believe, or you would like to believe, or you have been believing, might not be the actual reflection of the reality. And for most times, your perception becomes your reality. Remember and consider. I would like to encourage you to consider how many things have you generalized in your life? How many generalized beliefs that you have regarding other people, regarding your country, regarding animals, regarding the environment? How many things that you have generalized? How many experiences in the past that you could have distorted in your mind, that I could go so far to say that your memory is not the actual representation, or at least not the whole representation of what happened. It is simply your perception. And sometimes it is even your own imagination. That's how unreliable your memory is. And thirdly, you don't even remember what you don't remember. You don't even know what is it that you have ignored. And therefore, just like the GPS in your car that you are driving, if your GPS does not reflect the reality of the roads that you are traveling, what do? You simply go to the App Store, to the Google Play Store, to the Apple Store. You download the latest version. You update your app through. Same thing with this. What do you do when your mind is not the reflection of the reality, or whatever that you believe or condition is not conducive to where you want to go? What do? You simply update the map. You simply change the programming. And that's what we do here in NLP. We help you to reconfigure your internal maps so that you can have the correct pathway that will open you to opportunities to achieve the results, to change the habits that you want. That is what we do here. With that, that's all our sharing for this week. Take care and God bless.